Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiko, and I have been on the high raw vegan diet for 21 years. And today I have a beautiful returning guest, Miranda. Miranda,
Hi, thanks
welcome
for having
back.
me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I am so excited to have this on my first thing in the morning. It's a high vibe morning for me. Let me see if I can connect the. Oh, somehow it. Let me give me some. Give me a second because huh. This I'm trying to connect with Instagram and it says that it's streaming, but okay. So I would have to do it again.
Mhm.
So how are you, Miranda? Maybe you can give a bit of instruction of today's topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Healing, yeah.
The healing our relationship with food and basically healing in all aspects of life. I feel like when I started to live this way, and I'm sure we talked about this before, but when I started living this way, living more holistically and loving myself with what I'm fueling myself with, I feel like it started to ripple affect my life and change my thought patterns, changed my mindset, my mentality, and even my goals in life changed after I feel like I started loving myself from within, and it started also helping me to love others.
Mm,
I used to be pretty pessimistic and stuff, and now I'm pretty optimistic and I see a lot of opportunity in others, which
yeah.
that is just another thing, but when it comes to eating foods that love you back, then you're going to embody that in all aspects of your life because, we're not separate, compartmentalized.
Mm,
That's why I love holistic health, because it affects your nutrition, your exercise, your thoughts, your actions, your morning and night routines, all these things affect your life in all aspects of life, financially, even with your job, and just we are like a whole being,
mm-hmm.
because we might have a healthy diet doesn't mean we necessarily have a healthy mindset, like that can be disconnected if it's done in a disordered way. Because I kind
Mm-hmm.
of used to think that I ate healthy, but I really didn't eat that healthy, and I didn't have a healthy mindset and relationship with what I was eating. I was just eating because or I was just eating what it was to, "Oh, this is, like, healthy, this is what I should be eating." Not like, "I do this because I love myself."
When did that shift for you, Miranda?
I mean, it was about, I'd say, like, 5.5 years ago, right around COVID, actually, when
Mm-hmm.
I started doing more working out, doing more exercise, and trying to expand my thinking, and I realized when I was at the gym, for example, that a lot of people around me I guess I'm an observer, I kind of observe other people too, and,
Yeah, I see that.
I see a lot of people, like, on the cardio and, like, they're doing this, and it's just kind of it seems like a chore, and I know a lot of people that I would talk to at the time felt like going to the gym was a chore and not something that was a privilege, and I'm like, "This is not a chore, it's a privilege, and I enjoy doing it, and I love doing it," and then after that,
Mm,
I started eating better and better and better because I was trying to see everything from, like,
mm,
that viewpoint of, like, a self-love viewpoint versus I made a video about this on my YouTube channel months ago,
mm-hmm.
but I used to live with, like, a self-loathe mindset. Now I try to live with a self-love mindset and, like, how those how you can transition out of a self-loathing mindset to a self-loving mindset because I feel like
Mm,
most people are living with a self-loathing or self-hatred mindset in all
mm-hmm.
aspects of their life. You know, have you ever met someone that they went on a diet
Mm,
to to lose weight and they hated the diet and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait for my cheat day. Oh, I can't wait till I lose this weight. I can't wait till I can get off this diet." And it's not from a place of love. I can feel that energy. Have you
Mm,
met anyone like that in your life? I'm sure you probably have.
mm. I've seen our when I interviewed you for the first time, you said that when you shifted to raw vegan diet, it was more of mindset that you wanted to change than appearance, right? But I saw
Mhm.
your before photo, and I was quite surprised. Like, I mean, you were you you lost some weight on this journey, right? How much did you lose weight?
Yeah, actually, I don't know, I normally never would talk about it
Mhm.
because at the time, that was never an intention of mine to lose.
Right.
I just wanted to, like, feel good, feel better, love myself, and even though I was a healthy weight, so I'm 5'2", and a healthy weight for my height and gender and age is 104 pounds to 130 pounds. And I was at 127 pounds when I started this lifestyle. And
Mm,
I was almost going to be overweight, but I didn't necessarily do it to lose weight. I did it obviously to like feel better, but I didn't have necessarily a negative outlook on my body. I mean, I kinda just, like, accepted it
mhm.
as it was.
Yeah.
I was never, like, overweight, though, so I never really
Mm,
felt it was more about, like, the bloating, I was feeling the very low energy and, like, this just depression and, like, everything else that I was going through, and I feel like had definitely had an impact on my body as we started
mm,
connected, but yeah, over time, I lost weight naturally, like 15, 20 pounds of weight, and And that happened quite quickly over, like, the course of 6 months, like, quickly.
mm,
I feel like that's quickly for not even trying. I mean, so then over time, more and more time, I started gaining some more muscle, so I went up in weight a little bit, and then
oh,
I'm kind of at, like, 110 pounds, which is, like, my natural. It's kinda what I just stay at when I'm eating in
uh-huh.
my maintenance, and it just feels good. I don't have to worry about, "Oh, am I gonna get fat from what I'm eating?" Like, I don't even worry about that, and I hear other people, "Oh, I need to burn off this pizza at the gym," and I'm like, "That is not, like, a way to love yourself, is to
Mm,
feed yourself not so optimal loving foods and then try to go to the gym and burn it off, and I didn't wanna be like that, I didn't wanna think like that, so and now I don't know, now it's like, I just try to embody love in everything I do.
mm,
Sometimes it takes a lot of patience and willpower,
mm,
but overall, it's gonna make me feel good, it's gonna make you feel good, it's gonna make people around me feel good, and it's just, like, raising the vibration of humanity. Is that
right.
what you're for?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. So, from this, screen, it's hard to tell how tall we are or how thin we are really. I'm 5'4", and so we are about the same. Like, you're 5'2" and 5'4", and the weight wise, I'm 52, so that's like 115 pounds or something like that. And for me, like when I became raw vegan, I lost 15 pounds like immediately, and like losing weight wasn't my thing. There were other things that I wanted to improve, and it just comes naturally. But I thought it was interesting. You said that you gained muscle, so like, is it because you felt so energetic that you started to? Because being a raw, it doesn't build the muscle on its own, right?
Well, I at the time was eating and I actually did gain some muscle as well. Like I was about 106 pounds and I did gain about I would say I'm at around I hover around 110 to like 112. So I gained, I don't know, about like 6 to 8 pounds of muscle over the course of like 6 months. So, but in the beginning, when you start working out, you get what's called
Wait,
like
so
gain.
you're very precise with that. So you actually measured it on the machine?
Well, yeah, I go to a scale. Well, I just like to challenge myself. I don't do it because I have like, oh, I need to be a certain way. I just do it because I want to encourage people that are raw vegan or high raw vegan that they can gain muscle. It's about the way
Mm,
you do it and how you eat and obviously what you're eating too. But yeah, I would say it is a little tougher because it's not as dense foods,
mm,
but it's possible. You know, I at the time that I did gain weight, I was having the protein powder. So this was like 2021,
mm,
2022. So that's when I started going to the gym a lot more. But I've since stopped using that because it doesn't make me feel so good. So, you gotta pick your what you want. Do you want
r-
to like have muscle and stuff, or do you want to feel better and like promote
right.
health long term? So I'm like, even though it was literally like one ingredient pea protein powder, which is fine. But
Mm,
it just, it was fine, like, health-wise, like,
mm-hmm.
wise, but the way I felt was it kinda drugged me down a little bit, so I'm like, "I'm not gonna do this," and I would just eat in a caloric surplus, which is what you have to do, so but I gained a lot of muscle at first because, it was, like, newbie gains, so when you start doing progressive overload, you're gonna gain a lot of muscle, so
Mm,
but I don't do that anymore. I do, like, strength conditioning and training, which is kind of just, like, maintaining and using the muscles and obviously growing them a little bit, but I'm not crazy into, like, that gym
mm,
as much anymore. I do enjoy it, but I was
mm,
definitely more into it when I first started, but yeah, I mean, I see a lot of raw vegans and high raw vegans that, they have good muscle definition, but I think it does take, I don't know, a more mindful approach on what you're eating and how much.
yeah, definitely.
It's just I prefer to, be outside in nature if it's nice versus being
Mm,
at the gym. So normally during like the summer, I am not at the gym as much as I am in the winter. So,
mm.
mhm.
Cool. I think, yeah, I think in the US, like certain parts of the US, there's like definitely sort of a pressure to look certain way, like in California, also in New York. Like, yeah, like appearance was so important, and like going to gym before going to work was like when I was living in New York, that was the thing. I never
Mhm.
used to like going to gym, so I used to rollerblade in Central Park and do yoga on my own or
Yeah.
stuff like that. But here in Japan, it's the culture is quite different. Like I think I wanted to work out in the morning, and there was no gym opening before 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is different.
I think in New York we could find like 24 hours or gym that opens 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and my colleagues like already pumped up at the gym.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a morning workout person. I personally love the mid-afternoon, like or right before lunch, like 11 a.m. is not busy. I feel like I have some of the most energy I do and most like motivation. I eat my breakfast, I do some work, then I go to the gym, then I come home, eat lunch. So it's like it just really flows for me, and I know not everyone has the opportunity to do that in the middle of the day, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love this lifestyle now that where I can choose the time. I've decided not to go back to 9 to 6 kind of work, and
Mhm.
I love the freedom. I choose my own schedule when to work and when to take vacation. But coming back to our topic today on healing our relationship with food, there I think there are so many levels to how we treat our body, and I think we forget how much we are just neglecting our body or ourselves, right? And
Mm.
I think I became I started my raw vegan journey because of the challenges that I had in my, health, then, little by little, I started to realize like, wow, yeah, I totally deserve this beautiful food,
Mhm.
beautiful living, high vibe food.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you're eating that, or even before you're eating it, you feel good about that decision. Oh, like this is colorful, it's
Mm,
beautiful, and it's simple for the most
mm,
part. And when you're eating it, you feel good. And then, like Marabella said in one of our parties, then you're feeling good afterwards. Because when you think about how other people may or may not feel after they eat, do you feel so good? I always feel pretty good after I eat, and then I
mm,
feel good about the decisions I've made. It's all about making those decisions beforehand too in your
mm,
mind, like, "Oh, am I how many loving thoughts are you thinking a day, or how many negative thoughts are you thinking a day?" And a
mm,
lot of people, including myself, what how I used to be, I'd wake up and immediately have negative thoughts about either my day that's coming or myself.
yeah.
And it sets the tone for the day, not only of, like, how your mood is gonna be, but the
Mm,
choices that you make, the food choices, drink choices, the speaking to others, like, how you speak to
mm.
others. It is a domino effect in every single way, and so if you start your day like, what are you drinking? Coconut water right now?
This is lemon ginger water, but I
Okay.
have coconut water. Yeah, I love starting with coconut water as well.
Oh, I love it too, but the lemon ginger water absolutely is just it's just a really nice ease into the day, which I do quite
Mm,
often. I do the coconut water or, like, juice in the morning before, and then I have, like, a smoothie, and it's just kind of, like, easing your way into the day and kind of
mm.
because you're pretty dehydrated when you wake up, so you wanna replenish that hydration.
Yeah. So last night I have a weekly podcast
Yeah.
in Japanese with Sachi, my raw vegan friends in southern part of Japan, and we talk about our I I had the eating disorders, and
Mhm.
she's going through a much severe case of eating disorder. And what would you say to those people who they understand it's not out of self love act, eating way too much. Even
Mhm.
on this raw vegan diet, you could do that, right?
Yeah.
And I think, for me as well, going through this raw journey for over 20 years, there's just layers after layers of loving myself, because I think society and how we are raised is just so easily, you know, fall back to like taking care of others, or, focus on something else that's not loving yourself.
Mhm.
So, what do you think are some keys to love yourself and feed our body with love?
Yeah. I mean, that's quite challenging question, to be
Mm,
honest. I I used to have disordered eating. I would definitely, like, do the starving all day, then binge out at night, and I used to do that all the time. And it was kind of how I was thinking throughout the day. "Oh, I need to be good. I need to, I don't even know, like, how I was thinking at the time. I was just thinking pretty negative towards myself, and then at the end of the
mm,
night, you're pretty hungry, ravaging out, and then going crazy with the binge, and then you don't feel so good afterwards, and then it's just kind of like a vicious cycle, and then you're kind of beating yourself up about that behavior, and then it's just you repeat that out of, not self-love, and I think looking past the food, looking into the developing those behaviors before that. Sorry. My cat, hold on. Oh my gosh. Sorry. He like fell out something. Yeah, so I think that to help others, the way that I would say is like think about your food as something as you're going to be fueled with, not something to either look at in an emotional way. I don't know. Sometimes when you attach too much emotion to food, there can be a lot of disordered eating like that. And I used to attach too much emotion to food. I think so. Oh, I need to not do this because I will feel a certain way and then feel. Like, I know that we are very intuitive creatures, I feel like, at heart. But when we attach too much emotion to food, that's when that can happen. So we kind of have to let go of that and just recognize that food is our fuel. And whether or not you're choosing healthy food or unhealthy food, you can still have negative emotions attached to it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're eating a healthy lifestyle, you can have negative emotions attached to food, or not attached to food, attached to, fasting too much, or I don't know, doing the one meal a day things. All of these little things that people claim to be healing is just a form of restriction. I personally think so, because I used to think like that too, and I was not in a loving mindset.
But what was the turning point though? Like, a lot of people, because you have had a huge transformation, right? And you were sort of bullied by your brother as well, and you didn't have that self confidence before. And what did you have to go like? Um, this is what more a lot of people experience. Like they had to go all the way down to feel, selfless and just not respecting yourself, and you're just tired of being so sick and disrespecting yourself and not feeling good, that you could go up from there. Did you have to go hit the rock bottom to raise?
I would say, in a way, yeah, I definitely felt at the time that I transitioned to this like way of thinking, I I just didn't love myself like I wanted to. I would claim that I did, but sometimes I would get into a mindset of I'm better than everyone and blah blah blah, even though I didn't actually think that. So I was trying to display that when in fact that I didn't actually feel that. And I don't know, it got brought up in like a conversation, and it just like kind of struck me like, oh, I don't actually practice what I preach to others. Like, people are saying like, "Oh, you're this, you're that." But I was really not. So after that, I kind of was like, "Wow, I need to do a lot of deep inner work." And I felt like starting with going to the gym and starting to love myself like that, and then eating really healthfully, doing that. But then at the time of the transition, I still kind of had a disconnect to that mindset that I was trying to achieve. Somehow, I have to keep going and going and going. And I don't know, just over time,
Yeah.
I was listening to a lot of podcasts, reading a lot of different
Mm.
books and stuff, just trying to understand, like, why do I still feel this way, And I think
Uh-huh.
it was the way that I was thinking about my life and the impact on others as well. And yeah, I feel like I'm kind of talking in circles, but
Mhm.
I just wanna I don't know. It's kind of emotional for me to talk about this
Mhm.
because it's like, I don't know, I haven't really talked about it a lot in
Well,
general with anyone, but I
well,
I think this is a great conversation, so
yeah, yeah. So I want to go, dig deeper to that. so, so you said that people were, you were preaching, but you realized that you weren't talking the walk. No, you weren't. Yeah, you weren't doing what you preach. But what was the impression of others? What did people tell you before transitioning to this lifestyle?
um, well, they would just tell me like, "Oh, you're so confident, you're so this, you're so that," and I was kind of putting up a front that I was. like this was a long time ago, like when I wasn't even on social media, and I didn't really feel good about myself. I was kind of making
Mm,
everyone think that I did, you know,
mm,
when I didn't really. And I'm like, oh, then I felt this like a brick wall come at me. I'm like, whoa, I
mm,
feel pretty much empty inside, you know? And I'm like, oh,
mm,
I don't like that feeling. And, I think it takes a lot to listen to other people and actually,
mm,
I don't know, constructive criticism used to be the death of me. Like I couldn't even take constructive criticism, but now I feel like
oh,
it's insecurity. I used to be
mm,
really insecure. So after I decided, okay, I'm insecure, but I don't want anyone to think I'm insecure, but I still am insecure. Okay,
mm,
now I'm going to recognize that and actually
mm,
practice the self-love that I want everyone or that everyone thinks that I already feel, you know?
mm. Does that come back to you even
What do you
now, time to time?
mean? I wouldn't say quite as drastic of a feeling,
Mm,
but a little bit. Like, I feel like we all as creators,
mm,
especially, have some sort of imposter syndrome. Like, "Oh, dude, does anyone even care what I say?" And blah, blah, blah. Like, we have these kind of doubtful feelings, but
mm,
I definitely don't have it as much because I just put a lot of trust in God. I put a lot of trust in my own skill. I put a
mm,
lot of trust in, like, my own experience too, and everyone, we're just trying to live our life and be
mm,
happy. And, I think a lot of people think so poorly of others that they're thinking that about them. Like I
mm,
don't think people necessarily think that about me.
mm,
So why would I actually think about it myself?
mm,
Like
yeah,
I need to talk to myself like I would talk to my best friend. And I
right.
do that all the time, like, and I still do. But
Mhm.
I'm like, if I wouldn't talk to my best friend the way that I talk to myself, why why am I talking to myself that way?
Yeah.
And I used to be surrounded I used to work in retail, okay? I used to be
Mm,
surrounded by people that were very self-deprecating. They made a lot
mhm,
of self-deprecating jokes, they did this, and I kind of, like, had that energy too. But
mhm,
when I stopped absorbing that, I'm like, "No, you're not this, you're not that, and neither am I, and I'm not gonna subject myself to that." And then I, eventually got out of those environments. And I feel like your environment definitely can impact the way you feel, although it shouldn't
yeah.
always impact you, but I think
Mhm,
especially as intuitive beings, we empathic people, we kind of subconsciously can absorb other people's energies, even though we don't
mhm,
necessarily want to. So I
yeah,
being mindful of where you're putting your energy can definitely impact how you feel about yourself, because
right.
when people say, like, negative things about themselves,
Mhm,
you might start doing that and you don't even know why.
mhm,
I don't wanna say anything negative about myself or do anything that would harm myself. I don't wanna do that anymore, and it's just
mhm,
a blessing to say that because it used to be like a norm in my life.
mhm,
I'm like, "Oh, I'm just so
mhm.
blessed, so blessed."
So you had 9 to 5 kind of work you when you were working for retail.
Yeah, I worked 2 jobs actually, so I worked a lot, and my one job was great, it wasn't, like, a problem there, but the other job, I was like, just very negative people all around, and I was
Mhm,
just very grateful to get out of that. And then, I worked at Whole Foods, then I slowly started doing my own thing, and now I don't work anywhere that I don't actually wanna be, and I don't I mean, I work as a somewhat of a contractor, so I
mhm,
get to choose my hours, basically, I get to choose where I am, what I'm doing, and I think that freedom is really good because you
mhm,
just feel so good and proud of yourself too,
mhm,
and confident, and it's like and I don't have to subject myself to
mhm.
anyone's energy that I don't wanna
Yeah,
absorb.
yeah. I'm very much of an empathic person, so I have to be very careful with where I you know put myself, and yeah, it's I think that's true for many people. You know, we are who we uh, hang out with, and we are what we eat, and we are who we hang out with. I remember when I was going through this coaching program, they said that be mindful of who you surround with closely, because average of five close friends is who you are, you
Mm.
know, whether it's income or, whether it's your character, that just become one. And it's true, when I look at people and who they hang out with, yeah, they have the same vibes, right?
Oh, yeah, and I used to have a pretty stable friend group,
Mm-hmm.
and over time, I've just grown apart, and I really don't have that same f I don't
Mm-hmm.
have that same friend group at all because they still had that mindset that I grew out of. It was around the time that I went fruit-based, actually. So, mm, I never really made that connection that much, but it makes a lot of sense now because I started looking after myself, I started loving myself, I started eating better, and it was like, I don't know, like, people around you feel like they felt threatened or they felt like I was judging them because I was doing a certain way of living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "No, I really just wanna do this." Like, when I stopped drinking alcohol, for example, like,
Mm-hmm.
they still wanna go out, and I'm like, "I just don't feel comfortable in those environments, I don't wanna go to the bar, I don't wanna go to the
Mm-hmm.
club, I want to be in my own energy at home." Like, we could hang out on a separate occasion, and it kinda just, like, built tension around my friendships, and I'm like, it shouldn't because we should be uplifting and encouraging others
Mm-hmm.
to get better, not to stay how we are. So
Yeah,
kind of a blessing in disguise that I don't have those friends anymore because they're probably doing the same things that they used to do.
yeah. So, um, yeah, there was another question that I wanted to ask you: how your friend sees you. So you're, who you hang out with, you're not longer with, but you're close to your family, right? How do they see you?
Um, I think they see me quite in a different light than they used to. I mean, we are all close, but I think I I definitely try to inspire my family to always do better, and they really appreciate that.
Mm,
So, it feels good to do that because I never wanna necessarily force anyone on to any way of living because that's not the way to do things. I kinda just am like, I live my life, I do things, and they come to me for questions and, "Oh,
mm,
how can I do this?" or "How can I do this?" And it makes me feel really good and grateful that they can approach me like that
mm,
rather than me thinking I'll judge them because that's how I kind of used to be a little more judgmental, and now I feel like I'm more approachable to my from my family, and it feels really good
mm.
because I don't wanna be seen as combative. I used to have arguments and da 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 oh my goodness, and I never do that anymore. People are going to
Oh,
do the
okay.
w do what they do. If they come
Mm-hmm.
to me for a question or they just wanna have a conversation, I'm completely open-minded to it. I just won't
Mm-hmm.
be disagreeable and combative like I used to, so
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. I think in the beginning, we everyone has to go through this, like, oh my God, you're hurting yourself, because we learn from our body, right? And we know how, fantastic we feel with this living fruit, food and vegetables. So we want to share that with our loved one, but it usually backfires. So yeah, but I never talk about it unless someone approaches me. And then for me, writing, publishing my ebook this year was a huge thing, because then, if someone is interested, they can read on their own. And some people get it from like YouTube like this. Some people prefer reading it on their own, and some people like to talk directly with me. So I cover on face to face on cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely living as an example is the best way for others to, oh, what is she doing that she have so much energy?
Exactly, and it took me a while to learn that,
Uh-huh.
because we don't wanna so nothing really changes when you, like, try to force someone. It just creates more tension, and that's what I've learned, even, like, with myself. You have to be, like, when they bring it up when they bring it up, then that is when they open the door, then I can come in and talk about it. I don't open doors anymore. I used to try to push people through doors and, it doesn't reflect good on my character either, because I don't wanna be a hostile person that you
Mm,
can't approach, otherwise she's gonna blow up, and I feel like,
mm,
yeah, when I first went vegan, it was in an intense amount of emotion to save the animals, to save the planet,
mm,
better for your health, 'cause, all these different things are gonna kill you that you're eating. It's like, "Oh my gosh." And I still sprinkle that into conversations sometimes,
mm.
you know, but not forcing it because
Yeah, just a little bit
just
of sprinkle too.
just a little
Yeah,
tastefulness, okay? That's what you have to do.
right. Yeah. And you also you've mentioned about something very important, which is like if speak to yourself as if you're speaking to your best friend that you admire, you adore, and I think nowadays we see these quotes like if you treat yourself, uh, if you treat others just like you treat yourself, you will never have any friends. And
Oh my god.
it's so true for so many people.
Mhm,
And that quote, I don't remember and it was a very good one line, and it was such a wake up call to say it's so true. Like when you wake up, what's your first thoughts that goes into your mind? Oh, I feel lazy, and 15 more minutes. Oh,
mhm,
maybe I'll just eat cafe to wake me up. It's okay this time. Or like a cheat
mhm.
day. Like a lot of people ask, if I have cheat days,
Yep,
like
I've
why
done that.
would I cheat on myself?
That's so true. When people ask me that, I say, "I'm not cheating anyone but myself if I have a cheat day." I have a cheat day every single day. I love what I eat every single day. That's
Mm,
how we should live our lives. Because if you're not living like that, you're living with a restrictive mindset and not with an
mm,
abundance mindset, and that's stemming from fear, not love. So
mm,
when something's far away from love, I don't want anything to do with it. The fear, the doubt, the guilt, the
mm,
shame, the anger, all these things I don't wanna have towards myself or towards
mm,
others, and when I feel those feelings coming, you just have to be self-aware. I feel like a lot of people are lacking in self-awareness maybe because they want to, because they
mm,
don't want to feel their emotions and go through things that are hard or make a change in their life when in fact, telling yourself the truth, telling yourself that you love yourself and you want to do better for yourself is the most loving thing to do rather than, continue to feed yourself these delusions, feed
mm,
yourself, not optimal foods or, not thinking so highly of yourself. It's
mm,
the way that I would talk to my sister, for example, I would never talk to my sister the way I talk to myself. Like, I try not to talk to myself in a negative way, but sometimes these thoughts just come. And we have to
mm,
recognize like thoughts can just come, but we have to recognize like how we approach it. Do we either dwell on the thoughts and let those negative thoughts grow? Or do we
mm,
say, okay, why? Why am I feeling this way? And when you ask yourself
mm.
why, then a bajillion other questions come, and
Right.
then you can really find the not necessarily a solution, but ways to go about, I don't know, growing and looking
Mm,
at negative emotions as an opportunity to find something, I don't know, good and amazing to do rather than, hate yourself.
mm. So you have a brother and sister. Are they older, younger?
So on my on my Instagram story, I was talking about like Myers-Briggs personality. And I am an INFP, and that's like the mediator in like the 16 personalities. Do you know what that is?
I don't think so.
I would be so curious. I'll have to send you a link. I'd be curious
Okay.
to see what you are. I feel like you are quite similar to me, but so like the mediator, that's me keeping the peace because I'm the middle child. So
I am
my
a middle child as well.
oh my gosh, really? That's crazy. I have an
There's thing about, yeah, is
older
there?
sister and a younger brother. So
Okay, okay. There's a thing about middle child. No, there's a character in middle child for sure.
I read this book on middle children. I should send you this book. It
Okay,
was so good. They were and because my boss, my old boss, he was also a middle child, and we were talking about, oh, I feel like middle children have a certain vibe about them. And he's like,
sure.
yeah, you're right. I read a whole book about it. I'm like, you got to show me this book. So
Ah,
I have to find this book, and yeah, it was pretty good,
interesting.
interesting read. Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. I'm curious to find out. But okay, so yeah, definitely send me those two links that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But so this healing with food, I think there's so many levels that people have to go through, and definitely for you, this was a journey to get to where you are, because it looks so easy maybe for people, but you definitely have to go through some steps to get there. So, and we are living in a society that's quite different from our lifestyle. So, do you have any tips on like things we can do to sort of center ourselves?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of distractions in life that try to deter you from who you really are meant to be, reaching the best version of yourself. It all stems from like fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of missing out, the fear of being alone, the fear of all these different things. And when you try to let that go, and try to recognize that you got to do things, even if you might be alone, even if you might not know what you're doing, at least you're doing it. At least you're going out of your way to be different, to become better for yourself, for your family, for the world, for the future. And I think that is actually quite encouraging, at least for me. I feel encouraged that I might have to be alone or I might have to be different, and I think, like, it's okay to go through things. I think a lot of people are afraid of feeling very deeply, feeling a change. Change is not comfortable for most people, including myself a lot of the time. But that is the Confucius said, change is the only constant. And I saw that quote. I'm like, wow. Oh my gosh. This like shook my way of thinking. It is the only constant, so why are we so afraid of change? We have to recognize that it's okay. So, I think it's okay to maybe feel a little overwhelmed or even feel like you're doing stuff wrong, but at least you're doing something. At least you're trying something different. And we have to try, otherwise we wouldn't even know what doesn't work, or like imagine if you never tried banana ice cream. You would never know how delicious and amazing it is. You have to try new things in order to understand what you love. So I never knew, maybe like 10 years ago. I never knew I'd get to this place in my life. Like I never thought. But it's okay to not have expectations for life. And I think a lot of people have really high expectations for themselves. And when you shoot up way too high, you're always going to be disappointed that you didn't reach where you wanted to be. So, I guess did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. But okay, so let's see what your like a daily routine. Because I think there are many. What you do like a routine might be surprising for others. So let's
Uh,
go. Yeah, today. What time is it now? In
right now it's 6:45 p.m.
Okay, so would you like to share what you did today?
Okay. Okay. So I woke up and I kind of slept in today because I didn't have much to do. And in the past, I used to feel like I couldn't sleep in, I'm wasting my day, blah, 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 blah. And I now, when I don't have anything to do the next day, I don't put an alarm on. I just let myself wake up naturally. And that's a lot of letting go for me. So that is okay because sleep is productive. You know, I used to not get enough sleep and then I would not feel so good throughout the day. So I recognize like sleep is very important. It's a major pillar of life. So I let myself sleep in today. I woke up, okay, 8:30 is sleeping in for me. 8:30 a.m. And I got up and I opened the windows. It was quite nice out, like 65 degrees. It was just really nice. And I woke up and I had my juice. I made cucumber apple juice, super good, and feeling really good and hydrated. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? I didn't really do much, to be honest. I cleaned out my car. That's getting fixed. But before I did any of that, I always go to the bathroom and I look in the mirror, you know, and I look at myself and I say different affirmations to kind of like get myself in a positive mood. Because whenever I notice that I do that, I feel really good throughout the day and I have more prolonged energy, like mental energy, I guess clarity. And I guess I say like, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm doing so well. I trust myself to do what I need to do today. And like I don't know. Oh, I slept amazing. I have prolonged energy. You know, like just kind of like making these declarations to yourself. It feels really silly at first. When I That's another thing that really changed my mindset. It was doing like kind of daily affirmations and kind of listening to more positive podcasts and stuff like this that we're creating.
Do you
And
speak out loud?
oh yeah, I speak out loud. If I also do my journaling, so I do most of the time I do journaling in the morning and at night. I didn't do it today, but I did it yesterday morning. I do a morning gratitude journal. So I just write all these things I'm grateful for until I run out of room on the page. And then in the evening, I do like a stream of consciousness. I kind of just write what I did all day and what I'm excited for and blah blah blah. But I think like that's a really good way to start thinking positively of yourself and your life and what you're excited for. But yeah, so I had a big smoothie this morning with dates and strawberries and blueberries, and right after my juice, that's what I had. And then I had some apples and peanut butter for like a snack, and then I went out to clean my car. And then cuz it's getting fixed, thank goodness cuz it got messed up. And then I came back inside and I did laundry. I was cleaning and I was like reorganizing my closet. And I love to spruce up my place. Like I don't know. Your environment, like I said, has a lot to do with the way you feel. And I love to make my home feel like a safe, creative, colorful place. So I like to spruce up my environment at least once a day, cleaning, vacuuming, and I don't know. It's kind of like a boring day today, but it felt pretty good, you know. And then what else did I do? Um, yeah, and then I made some pasta salad because I had so many cucumbers, I'm telling you. So I made pasta salad
That you
and
grew?
cucumbers, yes, that I
You
grew.
grew. You grew. Oh,
Yeah,
congrats!
thank you. They're kind of chilling out now. Like it's kind of the end of the season in a bit. So that's like I had like 6 cucumbers I harvested.
Oh my
So
God, I don't see that on in your Instagram. I would love to see what you
I know
grow.
I should. I don't know. Like I'm just like so in the moment. Oh yeah, I went out to the garden. That's what I did as well. I went out to the garden and harvested. I did some cucumbers, some cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and that's what I also put in my pasta salad.
Nice.
And I love the garden so much. That is one thing that keeps me grounded too. Like just going outside and having
Oh
no
yeah.
music, just being outside and like
Hmm.
really positive mindset. And yep, then I made that, and then I mean, I'm here. So,
Yeah, you see, there's so many. You think that's just a chill day, didn't do much today, but I mean, there's some nuggets of goals everywhere throughout your day. You started your day, daily affirmation, speak out loud, and something, positive, looking at yourself. And your daily journal is what you do, like your routine. You have your
Yeah.
garden, you tender, and yeah, just immerse yourself in nature, and you eat what you grow. That's like a huge thing to put. I mean, most people won't be doing, right? And
Yeah.
I think starting your day is so important. For me, I listen to. Yeah, I try to keep mindful of when I look at myself in the mirror, preparing for the day.
Yeah.
Just giving some positive vibes, like I would do for people who I love, in-
I
and
agree.
I think most people don't do that. And
Mhm.
also, when I'm preparing in the morning, I like listening to meditation affirmation by Lisa. Do you have, I think you have that on plant-based that, um,
Oh, I don't know, but I probably do have it. But no, I heard you said it was really good before.
yeah, it's great because it's catered to raw vegans like me. So like 30 days. I mean, it's quite intense. And
Yeah.
I've already listened to. Oh, hi Jennifer, it's so good to see you. When a person say affirmation, how do they learn to believe what they are saying? If it is a new way of looking at life.
Visualization. That is the key. You have to be visualizing yourself living the way you want to live. Be in a constant state of the present. I used to do the affirmations and okay, this is getting a bit personal, but sometimes, like, in the beginning of my journey, I would say the affirmations and then I just start crying because I wasn't believing what I was saying. Like,
Mm,
I love myself, I'm loved, I'm this, I'm that, and, like, I would
yeah.
feel so much emotion because I didn't feel that way.
Mm,
So, when you envision yourself living the way you wanna live,
mm,
being the way you want to be, you have to put yourself in the present of what you're saying. Okay,
mm,
I'm healthy and I make healthy decisions. You have to visualize that and then act on it. Action is key. So
yeah.
it's affirmation, visualization, and then action.
Yeah.
Inspired action. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I started to actually believe is the way you literally have to live your affirmations and not just
Mm,
because it can
yeah.
feel dull and diluted if you don't do that.
There are so many ways to do it, and you have to understand the language for yourself. Like some people are good in like visual. Like I'm also visual, but I also like to see in text. So
Yeah.
I do combine that. I used to make this YouTube video, like private one for myself, on what I wanted to create. So I would choose a picture or video of what I like, and then I would add, like it nowadays it's so easy to find it. Like Lisa's affirmation does it, but for me, like a certain period of time, if it's a health, I would take a photo or videos of the image of the person that I want to become, and maybe put the music so that feeling, like I have to feel it, that I could even smell how it tastes, how it
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think for me, also manifesting my husband now. um, Before I used to do listing out, okay, I want this person to be, vegan, or without any kids, or those listing. And then I manifested this person,
Yep.
but the feeling didn't come with it.
Mhm.
So even though this person had all the tech, they cleared all my, long list of what I want, the feeling wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, I had to leave him. And then right after that, I realized, okay, I need to focus on feelings, because maybe I don't know what I want. So I focus on how I want to feel with that person. And I would exercise before going to sleep. And when I wake up, feeling I'm with this person in the bed, and I could even smell this person. my yeah, and then my husband smells so sweet, like naturally, like he smells like beach.
Oh, yes, I love that. You're putting yourself there, like, even
Yeah,
before it being there.
yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, it was so much better. Like, put that thought to universe. It was so much better than my limited, imagination of who I wanted to be with. It
Mhm.
was incredible, like the difference of just checklist and feeling it. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way about my fiancé now. And in the past, I never really believed that I'll find someone like that checked all the boxes.
Mhm.
And then I was like kind of sabotaging myself because I didn't believe that.
Right.
And then I kind of like let go of like dating and stuff. And then he just came into my life.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, we literally think the same. We had the same music that we loved. We have
Mhm.
the same goals in life. We are both vegan. It's like, how did this happen? And I didn't even like chase it. And I was really just attracting it over time. I was just,
Mhm.
because I was starting to love myself more, I was putting that out there and he was receiving it. And then now we're here. And it's just like, wow, when you love yourself in all aspects of your life, things come to you naturally because you're just so bright, so radiant, and they're just gravitating towards you. Naturally, you're
Yeah.
just attracting the goodness. And because
Mhm.
I don't know, you're putting goodness in you, so what goes in is what comes out. I really believe that,
Mhm.
and, like attracts like a lot of the time. So, when you think in a negative way, negative things may or may not happen to you. When you think in a positive way, more positivity and more gratitude grows in your life. So, I feel like being mindful of the way you think
Yeah.
about anything in your life will have an impact in all aspects of your life. So,
Yeah, it's so true. And in the beginning, I think most people don't realize what they are thinking about on a daily basis. And yeah, this was also part of my coaching exercise that, be mindful of what you think. And because we are so used to what we think every day, like, oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I feel tired today. Oh, you look so tired too. And then that kind of negative thing that you feed yourself, we are not aware of it. So what I did, well, what they recommended was put the timer every 15 minutes on your phone and check your thought. Like when that timer goes off, what are you thinking? And
mhm,
then I was quite surprised. Like I was on mostly on the negative thinking, and it was surprising because I consider myself a positive person, and also people used to tell me, "Oh, Kiko, you're so positive." Then what goes in my mind was so negative. And
mhm,
then that exercise is so profound that you have to do it for, at least 2, 3 days over 1 week, because then you would understand your, you know, this
yeah,
constant thought that goes into you, like, what are you feeling? It's not just food, right? Right.
mhm,
Like what we eat, like, I think we can start easily with like physical forms, like what are you putting, it's are you starting off with this colorful vibrant food, greens, that makes you feel really good, right? That relationship with food is so important.
mhm,
Then you can think about, okay, what are you feeling, like to your mind, like,
mhm,
is it something positive that you want to feed to your best friend that you who you love?
mhm. Yeah, because, like I said in the beginning or close to the beginning, like, you can maybe have the healthiest diet in the world, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you love yourself. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you have a healthy mindset because, if you are eating all these things that are really amazing and yeah, they do make you feel good, but if you still have all these negative thoughts, you're not going to feel good in the long run, and you're gonna revert
Mm-hmm.
back to negative eating patterns and less
Mm-hmm.
optimal decisions because of the way that you're thinking about
Right.
yourself. And, that's how I started too. So, yeah, the mindset changed as well, but what I was feeding my body changed first. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
feeling that way, oh, like what I'm doing loves me back, what I'm eating loves me back, and how I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking to myself, and yeah, what I'm thinking. Because, yeah, people would say that too, like in the past, how I said that I wouldn't practice what I preach. Like, I would say all these positive things and stuff, but then in my head, I'm like, oh, you can't do this,
Yeah.
or "Oh, this, or this, all these negative thoughts to myself. It's like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
good.
That's great. So, Jennifer, I hope this was a long answer, but I hope that we answered your question. And then there was someone else from your side. Do you see that message?
What about healing my relationship to
Uh-huh.
food? Does this mean you'll eat more animal-based foods in the future? No, definitely not, because I like to eat foods that are loving to myself, to animals, and to the environment, so I don't see myself ever doing that ever again in my life. But yeah, no, I think eating plant foods are the best. They're the most loving, the most vibrant, the most radiant and
Mm-hmm.
energizing foods on the planet. So I think I will continue doing that for the rest of my life and inspire others to do it for the rest of
Mm-hmm.
my life too.
Yeah. And then the
Yeah.
second message from maybe the same person, combine some low toxic plant.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's nothing more toxic. Well, we don't have to get into that, but I think the most healing foods that you can eat are whole plant foods. So I
Mm-hmm.
will continue to do that, and I'll never eat another piece of an animal, ever again, because all the vitamins that are found in animal flesh are found abundantly in plants because humans eat vegan animals. So the only reason they're getting such vitamins from the animals is because the animals were eating so many plants. So that's what I'll continue to do. Eat lots of plants and love myself.
Ah, yeah, that's great. Well responded. Yeah, so post whatever syndrome. Thanks for your message, but that was I hope that answered your question. And yeah, I for me, the veganism is much more important than being completely raw. I am definitely vegan for my life, and there are times that I have to admit that. Um, when I was living in Costa Rica, actually, I thought that I would be eating, perfect raw vegan lifestyle. But what turns out is that Costa Rica actually use a lot of pesticides
Mm,
to import to your country. Did you know that?
yeah, I bet. I definitely bet. Mm,
There are some pesticides that are forbidden in the States, but they are allowed in Costa Rica. So they would cultivate it in Costa Rica, and so like a melon and pineapple. And where I used to live was that the place for pineapples and um, mangoes and also melon. And it was so toxic that I just became so sick. And yeah, I couldn't sustain with raw vegan diet. And so I had, yeah, iron issue when I was living there. And someone was, suggesting that I should just drink cow's blood. And I was feeling so sick and losing so much weight at that time, but that really would that fix my problem? There was a thought. I said, and
no.
do I want to have that cow's blood into my my body? Definitely not. Like you know, I honestly prefer to be sick than you know putting
Mm-hmm.
that into my body. I mean, mentally, I would be so sick to put that in my body, and I prefer
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah. I
Jennifer
agree.
responded, that was great. So happy to see you both here. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. She's such a beautiful soul. I really love connecting with her. She's gone through so much, and she has so much to share in this world. Have you seen her her YouTube channel is amazing. Every week, I think it's every Tuesday, she comes and share on one topic specific. And then last one was reishi. The Chinese
Yeah,
medicine, they use it a lot. We have quite a lot here in Japan. Like when I go hiking, I see a lot. I've never used it, but I know it's used a lot in Chinese.
yeah.
It's anti-cancer as well. But yeah, she's got so many interesting topics, quite educational, and she is quite talented in doing that.
Oh, I'll check her out. Maybe send me her link.
Yeah, I definitely would send it to you. Yeah. But you can, if you you can also search the Jennifer Diamond, and but I'll send you the link, and maybe I can link that on this YouTube description.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, it's so important. I think for me, veganism is definitely it just makes sense in so many levels, ecologically, ethically, health-wise. I think there are a lot more studies coming up that the vegan, you can take. There's nothing missing. Uh,
yeah,
you're welcome, Jennifer. Yeah, she's amazing. So I like to talk about my friend's channel because not just because we are friends. I think there's so much to learn and, stay on this high vibe. Uh,
yeah, absolutely. I love it.
yeah. So yeah, coming back to this healing our relationship with food, it's just what we put in our body is just first step to love ourselves because as Miranda, what you were saying, you thought that you love yourself, but we realized that this love is just superficial,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. And after months of being on like a high raw, eating a lot of healing plant foods, it kind of like put me in the present of like loving myself currently rather than like putting it on a pedestal and like some intangible feeling that I never felt like I would achieve. And it's like a day-to-day thing. I don't think like you just magically love yourself and like nothing can harm you ever. And I
Mm,
I think, like, it's like you said, like, nurturing the garden. I think that's how it is.
so beautiful.
You have to
Mm,
keep it up every single day. You don't just wake up one day and just miraculously love yourself, heal your relationship with food, and, like, start to see everything in rainbows and butterflies. It's
mm,
kind of unrealistic. We have to also, be visionaries and have beautiful possibilities, but also
mm,
recognize that it's okay to, like, go through things. It's just the way that we react to them
mm,
that is very important because
yeah,
things can happen in our life that is, like, out of our control,
right.
but we can't let that determine how we are, you know?
Mm,
We have to continue loving ourselves through challenges and hardships and, be a radiant light that
mm,
everyone else can see that, and
right.
so can, attract people to not only this lifestyle because it's so amazing and, it's loving to the planet, to us, the future, and to the animals, of course, but it's just I guess, like, I'm just filled with so much love for the lifestyle that I wanna share it because I love myself now from, like, just over and over, like, kind of displaying that in my day-to-day
Mm,
life.
yeah. That's beautiful what you're doing, and you have so many followers, and you're inspiring on a daily basis. That's beautiful. So it's over 1 hour. I just realized I
Can't
can
even
talk
it
to.
just
Yeah,
goes so fast, Kiko.
I know I could talk to Miranda all day long, and I wish we were close by that we can tender our garden, and
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. Like,
So good.
it's just so amazing though, just bringing it back to gratitude here, how we can connect when we
Mhm.
are living on the opposite literally the opposite side of the planet. Isn't that
Mhm.
just so amazing? Like,
Yeah.
I love that, but yeah, it would be cool to visit your garden and you visit my garden, although my garden's probably a lot smaller.
Mine is very small. It's
Is it?
yeah, yeah, I'm a bit concerned about planting a little too much, but they seem to survive and quite wild. But
Yeah.
yeah, most people around my house, they cover everything in concrete. I'm thinking,
Oh,
oh
wow.
my God, it's like the kiwi vines that I planted. It's only 2 years old, and it's just there's millions of kiwis
Yeah.
now. It's crazy.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah.
with just tiny space, you can do so much.
I know, and you're taking advantage of that, and I love that, and that's something very inspiring too, because people, they not everyone lives in a 10-acre farm, but you can do what you can do with your space to the best of your ability, if that's what you want to do. It's, or you can fill it with concrete, if that's what they want to do. But you planting that is not only planting it for you, but you're planting it for the pollinators too, the
Yeah.
butterflies, and like they gravitate towards your house, and then the
Mhm.
birds gravitate too. And it's just like attracting so much goodness just by planting some kiwis and other stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely start with pot as well. I have some lemon tree in a pot, and you can even start with sprouting that you can eat, yourself. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We
I
have
have
a
to be
little
mindful.
fig tree too.
I'm sorry.
We have a little fig tree too.
You do
It's grown little
or
figs.
in a on a pot in a pot.
No, my landlord, he owns this property, so he planted a bunch of fruit trees and a fig tree, and now it's growing figs. So I'll have to take some pictures of them because they're almost ready.
Really, I only have one, that's which is right next to me. But
I
I'm so excited to be able to eat, the first fig. But
know.
the year goes by, it just gets better and better. So, oh,
Yeah.
I the other day I had my first grapes. I
Ooh,
harvested two. It was looking quite sick, but when I tried it, it was so good. So I cannot wait for next year harvest.
yeah,
It's just it's so magical that even if it doesn't like all year round you can enjoy you know just new leaves come in, flowers, and then there's some butterflies and bees
yeah.
coming. It's it's the best hobby for me.
I know. I love it too. And I think it does also reflect our lifestyle too. You know,
Mm,
we're cultivating goodness in our day-to-day basis. And of course, we're going to want to make more of it. So, a garden is like a really great place to start.
mm,
So, just growing your own food and, blessing the environment and the ecosystem,
mm.
it's all goodness all around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful, Miranda. I thank you so much for your time today, and I'm come back to the channel
Yes.
and be able to connect with your channel as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just so grateful that we can connect this way. And yeah, anything else do you have anything else to share
Oh,
before closing?
well, you know that we could talk all day. But I think we hit a lot of the good, subjects about healing our relationship with food because healing our relationship with ourselves. But oh, we have another one comment we could address. Um, if God provided us with manna, we would be more loyal, the same way dogs when we feed them. I'm not sure what this really means. I think, we can get into a whole other podcast about this subject, but, I believe, God created a beautiful earth for us to nurture and love. And, that's what I live
Hmm.
with. So I live by, you know, eating a lot of plants and just living a loving lifestyle for me, everyone else in the world. So,
Mm, yeah, thanks, Chris, for your message. I think we can do so much. When I, yeah, most people are too busy in their lives that they forget to connect with nature, and I definitely highly encourage everyone to start with small. Because
Yeah,
nature gives back so much, and yeah.
yeah, I agree. Because we have to, we give what we also get what we give, right? So,
Mm. Yeah. So
Things.
yeah, thank you so much, Miranda. You're always in great vibes, and I love your following your Instagram and YouTube channel. So with
Thanks, Kiko. The
yeah,
feeling is mutual. And thank you for having this beautiful podcast to share this beautiful way of life. And I'm excited to do another episode. We'll have to think about what topic. There's thousands.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So many ideas that I have in my mind, but yeah,
Me too.
we also connected with Sky's raw party. That we have a
Mhm.
beautiful community to connect.
Yeah.
So I really love connecting with you in so many levels. So,
I know, I'm so glad. I feel like Sky has brought a lot of people together, and I really
yeah,
admire that about her. Because I feel like we may have never
yeah.
even met over the internet if it wasn't for Sky, so that's something really awesome that, I really admire about her, and
Mm.
it's great that we are, doing the same thing, so I feel inspired to also kind of do what you and her are doing too, so I think it's just
Hey.
that ripple effect. Because
Yeah.
how other people can influence us
Mhm.
constantly. So, that's great, but yeah, it was a great talk today, so I'm
Yeah,
excited.
great. Thank you so much again. And thanks everyone for connecting. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so and hit like button because we are not getting paid from this. And it's all out of love, and your love energy definitely help us motivate to create more of this. So
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thanks,
thank you.
Miranda, and thanks everyone.
Bye, I'll see you soon.
Okay.